Hi everyone, welcome to PYF Presha Yoga Fit, and I am Presha. Today's practice is a Hatha Yoga practice. It's a traditional practice that simply means that we are not going to flow. We will be with our breath in each movement, but we are going to hold poses for a certain amount of time, and we will not go from each pose to each pose in terms of a flow that you see in a vinyasa practice. We might just break it and go into another pose, break it and go into another pose, which might not feel like that you are transitioning as such from one pose to another. At the same time, this is a great way to connect deeper to the breath and to feel great in the body. So roll out your mat and let's get started. Let's begin in Sukhasana, and we are going to place the hands on the chest and the belly. So place your right hand on the belly and the left hand to the chest. And we simply do this to connect deeper to our breath. The belly, by touching the chest and the belly with the hands, we feel the connection with the breath as the breath moves in and out, and we feel the expansion in the body with the inhale and the softness in the body with the exhale. So observe how your chest and the belly starts to expand when you breathe in and how it softens towards the spine when you breathe out. So closing your eyes. Couple of breaths to arrive and to settle in from wherever we are coming from work, things that we are doing during the day. Knowing that we are going to be spending these few minutes with ourselves, being present with the body, with the breath. And also bring in a sense of relaxation, a sense of being soft in the jaw. So drop the jaw a little bit, soften your face, soften the forehead. Let go of the tension in the muscles of your mouth, your shoulders. And with the next breath in, we're going to open the eyes, and we'll now find ourselves on the top of the mat, standing. So starting from the top, feet stacked under the hips. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Lift with your chest, root down through your feet. And then exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway, bring those hands on the shins, bring the spine parallel to the mat or the torso parallel to the mat, draw the belly in. And with an exhale, frame your hands down and step back into downward facing dog. Press down through the hands and press down through the feet, driving the hips up, keeping the spine nice and long. Big inhale through the nose. And perhaps open the mouth and exhale side out. Now we're going to lift the heels up and then lower the heels down to the mat. Again, lift your heels up.
With an exhale, lower your heels down. One more time. Inhale, lift and lift your heels off the mat. And exhale, bring those heels down. Now, keeping the heels down itself, inhale, reach your right leg up. And exhale, step the right foot forward. Come onto your fingertips first to lift your chest up. And while you're here, spin your back foot down into a 45-degree angle. Good. Now from there, you're going to reach your arms up and come into Warrior One. And in Warrior One, the shoulders and the chest and the 2 points of the hips are going to be facing forward. Keeping the right knee and the right ankle aligned, and the knee is bending and going in the direction of the second toe. Keep turning the inside of the left hip out. Keep rotating it out. Good. Hold for 3, 2, and for 1. Now we are going to take an exhale. Open the arms out. Bring the back foot into a 90-degree angle and come into Warrior Two. Now just briefly for a second, please extend and straighten your right leg so that we can align the body correctly in Warrior Two. Now once you've done this, the front right hip, lift it up a little bit. Lift the front right hip and the left glute or the left hip, let's just tighten it or engage it. So tighten the left hip, front right hip is going to lift up. Extend your arms out. Just look back for a second. See that your left arm and your left shoulder is in one line. Now you're going to bend into that right knee, coming into Veerbhadra Asana 2. Spread the shoulder blades, but also relax your shoulders away from the ears. Big inhale through the nose and big exhale through the mouth. Normalize your breathing. Just inhale and exhale through the nose. And now we're going to bring the right forearm on the right thigh. Reach the left arm extended above the left ear. Find this nice extension from your left hand till your left foot, coming into an extended side angle pose. Now there is a great possibility for most of us to lean on that right thigh by putting a lot of weight through the right forearm. So all I'm requesting you to do is to slightly, just imagine that you were trying to actually hover your right forearm off your right thigh. So maybe you slightly lift it up, or maybe you keep a slight pressure through the right forearm. So what you're doing is you're building in strength and you're bringing in engagement from all over the body instead of just leaning here with your right forearm. Good. Also with your left side of your body, your chest and your left shoulder, avoid sinking it down. Spin the left shoulder open slightly. And with an exhale, frame both your hands down and step back into a downward facing dog. As before, we're pressing down through the hands and pressing down through the feet. Taking one more breath through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Keeping the heels down itself, inhale, reach your left leg up into a three-legged dog, and with an exhale, step the left foot forward. First, we come on the fingertips to lift the chest up, and at the same time, spin the right heel down to a 45-degree angle. Reaching your arms up into a Veerbhadra Asana 1. Shoulders and hips are facing forward, and we are reaching those arms up, keeping the left knee and the left ankle in one line, and the knee is bent and it's going in the direction of the second and the third toe. Now with an exhale, open the arms out into a Warrior Two. Again, let's first bring the right foot into a 90-degree angle. Let me just actually face the other way. So bringing the back foot, the right foot into a 90-degree angle, and the front leg, we're going to straighten it first. Now lift, as I mentioned before, lift the left front hip up, squeeze your right glute. Once you've done that, extend your arms out, just look back, look that your right arm and your right shoulder is aligned, relax your shoulders, but fan your shoulder blades, and then bend into your left knee. And then we're going to take around 3 breaths in this pose. Now with an exhale, extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh, reach your right arm all the way up. Again, don't put all of that pressure on that left thigh by putting your weight completely on it. Just keep the engagement in the body going on. So slightly, maybe you feel that you're lifting your left forearm off your left thigh, or just hover it a little bit. Spin the right shoulder back. Take another breath through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And then frame both your hands down and step back again into a downward facing dog. Good. Taking 3 breaths in downward dog. And then lift your heels, bend into your knees when you exhale. Step or walk forward towards your thumbs. Inhale, lengthen halfway, flat back. And with an exhale, fold, release, let it go. Rooting down through the feet, root and rise, get taller with the body, reach up, inhale. And exhale, hands to your heart center and arms to the side. Now, as I said, it's not a flow class, so there is a possibility for us to go from one pose to another pose by breaking it. So it's not important, like we've been doing now, a pose after pose, which kind of felt like we're transitioning pretty smoothly. But for now, we're just going to step out to the length of the mat, and we're going to come into this stance with the heels pointing back, toes pointing forward, and the heels are aligned. Now, roll your shoulders once to reset. Inhale, reach your arms up. With an exhale, turn your palms out and fold forward. So come down with your hands. You can bring your fingertips down and release the weight of your head and your neck. Inhale to lengthen halfway, flat back. And then with an exhale, frame the right hand under the face or in the center. And inhale, reach your left arm up, spinning the left shoulder back, twisting towards the left side. Take an exhale, look down. Now frame the left hand on the same spot and inhale, reach your right arm up, spinning right shoulder back. Exhale, look down, frame both your hands under your shoulders. Inhale to lengthen halfway, flat back, and exhale to fold. Inhale again, lengthen halfway, flat back. Bring the hands, keep the flat back, bring the hands on the waist, press down through the feet and lift your chest up. And now from here, you can hop, or you can just bring the feet in together and then step back to the top of the mat. All right, with an inhale, reach your arms all the way up, root and rise, get taller with the spine, get taller with the upper body, and exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, flat back. And exhale, frame your hands down and step back this time into a high plank, spreading into your shoulder blades, pressing into the mat, drawing the belly in. We're holding for a couple of breaths here. Stay strong with your core, fire up the core muscles. Now, soften your knees down on the mat, and with an exhale, bring your chest and your belly down as well. Once we are all the way down here, keeping the hands under the shoulders, we are going to actually lift the hands an inch or half off the mat, and we are going to take an inhale, lift the chest up and lift the forehead. So now what's happening is you're using the strength of your back body instead of pressing into the mat with your hands and using that strength to come into this back bend. And this might feel like hard to breathe, but trust me, you're working and you're strengthening your back muscles and even your core. And while your back or your spine is working here to keep yourself lifted, take another breath. And now slowly bring in assistance to bring those hands down and press down to lift up into a cobra. And that might feel just pretty nice. And then exhale on all fours and downward facing dog. All right, inhale, reach your right leg up, three-legged dog, and exhale, step the right foot forward. Let's come onto the fingertips first to lift the chest up, and then root and rise again. So press down through the right heel, reach your right, both arms up, and come into a high lunge. With an exhale, frame your hands down and step the left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway, flat back, and exhale to fold. Root and rise, inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, hands to your heart center, arms to the sides. One more time, root and rise, reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale to fold. Stay present with your breath. Inhale, lengthen halfway, flat back. Exhale, frame the hands down, step back into a high plank. Again, holding this high plank for around 5 breaths. We are pressing the mat away. We are spreading the shoulder blades, drawing the belly button in towards the spine. 4 more breaths to go. Last one. Soften the knees down and ever so slowly go down with control. All right, just as before, we're going to lift those hands an inch or so off the mat. Use the strength of the back body, use the strength of the spine to inhale and lift up with the chest. And now we bring in some assistance here, keeping that back bend going. We're going to feel pretty good about this, so press down into the mat with your hands and lift up into a cobra. Shoulders are rolling back and your chest is going forward. With an exhale, come on all fours and then drive your hips up to a downward facing dog. Press down through the hands and through your feet. Now reaching and bolt the heels down, we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up, and exhale, step the left foot forward. Come onto your fingertips to first lift your chest up, and then slowly with an inhale, reach your arms all the way up, coming into a high lunge. Now, with this high lunge, you're going to keep that left knee and your left ankle aligned. Keep lifting the chest up. And with an exhale, frame your hands down and step your right foot forward. Good. Hands on your shins. Inhale, lengthen, halfway, flat back. And exhale, fold, release. Root and rise. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. And arms to the sides. Well done. All right, roll your shoulders to reset. Inhale, now reach your arms up. And exhale, come with bending into your knees and come into a chair. Utkatasana. Good. Keeping the chest lifted, spine stays long, drawing the belly in. With an exhale, fold. When you have come into this shape, then heel and toe with your feet slightly out, coming into a little wider stance with your feet. Toes are facing out and heels are pointing in. And then come into a deep squat in Malasana. Bring the hands to your heart center. With the elbows, push those inner thighs out. And then we don't want to round the spine here, so we want to keep lifting up with the chest and keep the spine long. If you feel your heels are lifted up, you can also roll your mat and you can put your feet on that, your heels on that, and then come into this shape. Taking another breath here. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. We are going to frame the hands down, step back into downward facing dog, driving the hips up, pressing down through the feet and through the hands. Imagine that you were trying to stretch the mat to the front and the back, both ends, and to the sides as well. That's how your hands are working, pushing into the mat forward, and the feet are working, pushing the mat back. Beautiful. Let's get those knees down. Crossing with the ankles and come into a seated position. Now extend and reach your legs forward, and we're going to come into a seated forward fold, almost to the end of our practice. Heels are going to dig down, toes are pointing up. With your chest, lift up. And then we are not going to reach the arms up like we do traditionally. We're going to again work on the spine for this one. So bring your hands to your heart center. Lift your chest up. If you feel you start to round here, you can keep your knees slightly bent in order to bring in that assistance of keeping the spine long. Good. Now, hinge forward with your hips. Imagine there was this vacuum being created between your thighs and your torso. And then hinge forward. Keep hinging forward. Good. And then reach at a certain point where you can't go forward. If you see my knees are slightly bent, you can do that too. You can keep the legs straight as well. And then you're going to just ever so slightly bring in a little bit of spine in a round position, but not completely collapsing. You're still hinging forward, chest is going forward, but soften with your head and your neck. Again, the spine is working here, the back body is working here to stay in this forward fold position. And with an inhale, we're going to come back to center. Beautiful. And we're going to come into a seated position just as before. And this was a short Hatha Yoga practice. We're going to bring the hands to the heart center, bowing here, bringing in a sense of gratitude for showing up on the mat, finding time for self-care. I'm grateful for this community. Thank you everyone for joining me in another yoga practice. I will see you in the next video soon. Till then, take care. Bye. Sending you all my love.